Wanted to give a full review on Half Dome in Yosemite National Park. My wife and I just did this hike just a few days ago, and it was absolutely fantastic. We travel the globe, we love hiking, and right here in America, we have one of the very best hikes in Half Dome in Yosemite. So, wanted to give you guys some feedback for preparation, expectations on how to be ready so that you can tackle this hike, get yourself to the top, soak in that beauty up there, and then get yourself back down safely. So, number one thing that I tell everyone is get yourself in as good as health and physical condition as you can before you go and try to tackle tough hikes like Half Dome. You're looking at roughly 9 to 12 hours between stops and videos, pictures, lunch, and overall hiking. I clocked out at 55,000 steps. I went approximately 5,500 in my ascend, as well as 5,500 back down. And so it is a long, grueling 10 to 12 hour day. So you got to be physically ready. Be prepared. We carry packs that have at least 100 ounces of fluid. That more than likely won't get you up on a hot day and back down. You'll need more water than that, probably closer to 4 to 5 liters. So go get yourself one of the filters that connect to your packs, whether it be a Camelback or one of your packs that you use, so that you can use some of the stream or river water that's there, because there's only a few filling stations and those are closer to the base. So once you're past that point, which is early on, you're going to have to find water especially if it's getting hot in the hotter months and you're going through water pretty quickly. You do not want to get dehydrated on this hike. Second thing I would focus on is make sure you have enough food. We usually make turkey sandwiches of some sort, pretzels. I want to have more sodium in my system, along with that water to keep hydrated. I usually do some sort of electrolyte blend too, just to be ready and on point when it comes to hydration. So I usually pack anywhere between 3 and 5 sandwiches, pretzels, whatnot. So have a big enough bag that you can handle all of that, and then start the trek. We started at about 5 a.m. and so you got to have headlamps. It was dark outside still. Obviously, sun didn't come up until about 6:15, so we used headlights for about for the first maybe hour, 45 minutes, hour. It started getting a little bit lighter out, so we were able to see without them. So just be prepared with that, either flashlight, headlamp, something like that you can see as you're going through the dark if you start early like we did. The other thing that you're going to need to do to begin with is you got to get a permit. And that can be a little bit tricky because you only get one chance per season per person. Luckily, my wife, 2 days before our trip, she was able to land one for a Wednesday hike. And my advice is try to get one of those midday or midweek lottery or tickets so that you can, it's just a little easier, I think, with a Tuesday, a Wednesday, even a Thursday, opposed to maybe a weekend where a lot more people are trying to get in the lottery if they're hiking on the weekend there. We fortunately got an absolutely glorious day. It was in the 50s when we started, had one longer layer on that was long sleeved with shorts, and then underneath a tank top as it got warmer. So that's all I needed. Again, this is the summer months. This is August, and so you just got to really prepare as far as weather. One caution that I would definitely focus on, because unfortunately we had a situation happen recently with a young lady on the hike, and she unfortunately passed away. You guys may have heard that story. The weather came in, and it comes in quickly sometimes. Watch the weather maps, know what you're getting yourself into. If the weather changes and you see rain coming or you see storms coming, you're close to subdome or half dome, just don't chance it. You don't want to risk your life and whatnot. Very, very sad situation there. But always just be cautious and know what you're getting yourself into. So we started on the Mist Trail. We had to start really early. You got to get there before 7 right now because they're doing some construction on that site. So we were able to start on that, and then we got up to Subdome, Half Dome, and then came down the Mirror Trail, which was really fantastic overall. Mist Trail was great. We saw multiple waterfalls as it started getting brighter outside. You're looking at, again, about 5,000, 5,100 feet up to get to the top of Subdome, which is roughly about 8,800, 8,900 as far as your elevation. To be prepared for that, for any of those out there that get any sort of sickness with elevation and altitude. So just be cautious of that. We acclimated for a few days. We live in Kansas City, so it's it wasn't a big issue for us. But when we get out into the 12,000, 13, 14,000, and you're not acclimated right, you can get pretty ill. So just be aware of that. We didn't have any issues. And the other thing is just, again, make sure that you're prepared physically, because this hike is challenging when it comes to what you need for upper body strength and lower body. So Mist Trail was beautiful. There is some flat lands along this trail. They were really good. One of the most challenging parts is getting up to Subdome. Once you get to the ranger station to show your permit, which is, roughly about 3 to 5 hours into the hike, he will set you down, kind of get you prepared, which I'll go over with you here in a second. But that trek and all those stairs and steps going up to actually Subdome, I thought was the most difficult of the entire trip as far as just physical conditioning, where I started to have to take a little bit more break, and heart rate was getting over 150, 160 during that trek, which I enjoy a lot in pushing my body, but just be physically ready. So the ranger there that's checking permits, he's pretty much going to tell you straight up of what you need to do to be prepared to climb the ladders. Half Dome, that hike is beautiful from front to back, but the main draw to that is those ladders. A lot of people have fear of heights. A lot of people may not have the upper body strength, and so his main points was it's just always be respectful of other people, which I'm highly in agreement with. Like, even if you're physically further along than the individual in front of you, just pace yourself and go slow, and encourage that person in front of you or the person that may be in front of you going back down too. We saw multiple situations when we were on the trail or on the trek up, that people just had to, really slow down and take breaths, because that trek up those ladders, it wasn't super challenging for us, but I mean, it starts burning your rear delts, your lats, your rhomboids, your forearms. It's a lot of pulling. It's a lot of upper body strength to get up those ladders, but just pace yourself all the way up. Make sure to have some gloves. We had the leather gloves, that the workers' leather gloves. We just got them at like Home Depot or something. So those were fantastic for getting us up and back down. And then, getting up to the very top of the summit of Half Dome, one of the things you got to also be cautious with, that the ranger said, was you're going to have people coming back down at the same time. So there's times where you need to only be on one side as someone is passing you. Really, it's just about communicating and, can I pass you? Can you go before me? Whatever it may be. Someone may be taking a breath, which allows you to go up, or vice versa. So just be respectful of other people that are on the cables. You got to realize that some people have massive fear of heights. Maybe their upper body strength is not on point. They're scared. They want to challenge themselves, but it's a mental challenge for them, and maybe even potentially a physical challenge. So you just want to be respectful of that. We got to the top, and again, it was a glorious day. It was fantastic. 360 panoramic views of every angle. Was gorgeous. At the top, we had lunch and just soaked it all in, and we got to there's a place there that kind of has like a little almost like a little surfboard type of rock where a lot of people are taking pictures from. So make sure if you don't have extreme fear of heights, go out and take that shot. We got multiple individuals and had another hiker take some shots of us as a couple. So that was really fantastic. So after about an hour up there, we ended up going back down. For me, going back down was a lot easier than coming back up. I actually went face first, which the ranger said not to do. Again, upper body strength wise, I'm very strong, so I was able to manipulate the cables in a way that it was much easier for me, almost kind of doing like dips all the way down. And I just had control of the wires by, kind of moving myself around. I was able to get down them much quicker than going backwards. But they say, most people should go either sideways or backwards back down. That's more comfortable for them. So again, pace yourself. We got down about 3/4 of the way, and there was a young lady who was really struggling. I mean, she was terrified. I could tell her grip was going out. She was on her way up, and she was not going to make it. And we kind of, we tried to encourage her for a while, and I think she just broke about a quarter way up. And so we kind of helped manage her back down. And I knew she felt kind of defeated, but she attempted it. She tried it. And hopefully she comes back even stronger mentally and physically next time, and she can get herself to the top. And so again, just respect the people that are on the ladder. And again, don't go up that thing if it's raining or weather is coming in. Just be careful of that, because that's where danger and risk and in your own life comes into hand, regardless of how strong you are or whatnot. That stuff gets slippery. Those rocks are, that rock is slippery when wet. And I don't care if you have the best hiking shoes in the world, it can be a challenge. So just do it on a nice day if you can. And then on the way down, again, we went down the Myrrh Trail, and it was beautiful. We saw different waterfalls coming back down and from different angles and bridges. There was one place where our feet were pretty tired. Our legs were pretty tired at that point. So there was a place, kind of a plunge pool, and then the river, and we were able to put our feet in the river, and the water was super cold. So it kind of, was replenishing, 7-8 hours into the hike. So that was something that we did as we had another bite to eat. And then we finally got ourselves down, and it was overall just a really fantastic, not only, just sense of accomplishment, but also a memory that we created together that was fantastic. Hikers out there, I advise you, this shouldn't be your first hike that you ever do. You need to get prepared for something like this. This is a long day. Again, 12 hours, 50 to 60,000 steps, 5,000 feet up, 5,000 feet down, 5,500 up, 5,500 down, and a real challenge of getting yourselves up the ladder, fear of heights. There's all sorts of stuff that comes involved. So this is not a starter beginner hike. Work your way up. But if you are at least an amateur hiker and in good condition physically, mentally, you're pretty strong too. This is going to be something that you're going to be able to accomplish. And so just hold on all the way up that ladder and all the way back down, and just soak it all in. So I encourage you guys out there that have not done this, put it on your bucket list. I challenge you to go do it. Be prepared with your water, your food, your rest the day before. Get some good sleep. It is a long, long day, but it is worth it. Every step, and those muscles are sore and whatnot. It's just an overall fantastic hike. Our legs were pretty beat up afterwards. We were pretty sore, especially once we got into the car, sat down for an hour and a half before we got back to our hotel. That first step out of the car after 55,000 steps and all the work we did, it was like, you're pretty sore. And so, we ended up taking a little bit of Advil, some ice, replenished our fluids. And in the morning, that next morning, I actually woke up and got on a Peloton bike that was at the resort, and I actually worked through it. That helped me recover quite a bit more. But each person a little bit different. Some people just like resting. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy Yosemite National Park. The rest of it is beautiful. There's a lot to see. And you can go see Half Dome from all different angles and perspectives. But the best angle and perspective is from the very top. So go enjoy it. Go experience it. And if you have done Half Dome, I'd love for you to put a comment. If you haven't but want to, also put a comment, and I'd love to see you go make it happen. All right, guys, have an amazing day, and keep striving for those challenges in your life. Set those big goals and go make them happen. All right, guys, have a great day.